Episode 4 of Andor, called Aldhani, premiered last night on Disney Plus, and I'm just going to say this. If you haven't started watching Andor, you need to. It's really, really well done television, like, period. Now, the fact that it's a Star Wars show is even better. It's a Star Wars show with maturity, and I really like it. Um, so yeah, if you haven't seen Andor yet, we're going to be talking spoilers for episode 4, so that's your warning. So the episode starts off with Stellan Skarsgård's character, Luthen Rail, telling Andor, played by Diego Luna, that yeah, the reason that he came looking for him is because he saw potential in someone that could do well for the rebellion. And the job that he's going to have Cassian do for him, Cassian Andor, right, is to steal the quarterly payroll of an entire Imperial sector. So we're in for a heist. Dude, this show just keeps getting better. We finally get to see Coruscant. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've seen it, and it's great. It's beautiful. It's haunting in a way. It's the everything's just so alive, and we finally get to see something that I've been reading about for years. The Imperial Security Bureau, the ISB. We actually get to see the building. We get to see the inner workings of it. We get to see a meeting, basically. Look, I can't tell you how excited I am to see this stuff. I'm just going to say that the names of these characters are, it's sort of like Rogue One. In a way, they don't really matter. But I'm just going to tell you that the head of the ISB is sitting there talking in this meeting, and he says that the ISB is more like a healthcare system, and that they're looking for germs and these security issues, and so basically we can identify them and eradicate them. I think that's really, really awesome. It's an interesting viewpoint that I never thought that I guess I just didn't realize that the Empire looked at it that way, and it's a really cool thing to see. Just the inner workings, the way that there's power plays in between different. I guess you could say they're almost like governors in a way of different sectors. I love the way that this works. It's very bureaucratical, and if that's a word, I just there's something really cool about it. That whole sequence reminds me of the scene in A New Hope. When all the people are talking at that table with Tarkin and Yularen and all of those different characters, going at each, kind of sniping at each other and stuff. I love that. And I know that there's people that probably gloss over when they don't see, a blaster bolt or a lightsaber, but come on, this is deep story stuff, and I love it. Carn, who was the sort of the leader of the I guess the police force, I guess you could say, going for Andor in the previous episodes. Yeah, the Empire's basically come down on him and said, yeah, we're in control now. You run along. And he gets to go home, and you see him on a lower level of Coruscant, which it's not the lower, like deep levels. It's sort of like, I mean, it kind of made me think of sort of like a almost middle class sort of situation. And you see his mother, and she slaps him and then hugs him, and they go inside. You don't see anything else, but I love the fact that it's being positioned where he's probably going to be the one that teams up with the blonde ISB agent. That's going to be a thing, and I love that you get to see these other slices of life that we've never really seen before. Now, Luthen Rail turns Andor over to this character, Vel, who's the leader of this team that's going to be doing this job, this whole, I guess, this heist for all the credits, the quarterly payroll of this entire sector, right? And what's cool is you get to see the inner workings of this little group, this little faction, and how they've got sort of a mole in the garrison, and they talk about the plan, they talk about their mistrust, all of these things. It's really, really interesting and sort of like captivating stuff. And I love the fact that they show the plan of what's coming in the next episodes. It's one of those things that it sets you up so that you already have sort of this this bird's eye view of what's going to be happening in the next episodes. I love that Luthen Rail, has to basically put on this entire facade to be this antiquities dealer. And Mon Mothma, we get to see Mon Mothma, played by Genevieve O'Reilly, and she's already like, wow, they've completely misused her because she's good. Just in these few scenes that she's in, she is really, really good. And I'm just excited to see this political battle alongside all of this cool heist stuff and whatever else is to come. This is an episode where there's just a lot of setup, right? It's a lot of talking, but I have to say, it might be my favorite episode so far. Out of the 4 episodes, this might be my favorite because you get to see all of these different viewpoints and they're all perfectly realized. Set design, costume design, the cinematography, the way things are shot, everything is perfect. And the acting. I can't tell you enough about how different this feels. It doesn't feel like just a series of sentences that gets you to the next shot or the next scene. These are important conversations with a history. These feel like actual people with a history and with a life outside of what you're seeing, these little glimpses that you're seeing. I can't tell you how impressive that is. And the fact that there's so many different characters, I think that's part of, I think some people might find that an issue, but there's so many characters. And like I said, perfect acting. And that's got to be, again, that's acting and direction. Perfect direction. I'm just blown away by how good this is. One of my biggest issues or I guess fears about this show is that it was going to be so brooding and so not fun that it was going to be a hard watch. But look, I gotta say, I'm completely blown away by how well done this is. That it makes me think, you know what? There's room for all kinds of stories to be told. I think the sweet spot is probably, most of the movies. They fit in this mold that it's good for everybody. Adults can enjoy it, kids can enjoy it. That's what that is. Then they've gone to like the more kiddie stuff, or you could say the younger crowd. Even though I think some of the like Clone Wars and Rebels, there's some dark stuff in there in those shows. But then you've got the other side of it. And it doesn't have to be like rated R and be like gory or nudity or anything like that. You just got a very mature adult story being told, and it is captivating. It is great. And I can't wait to see more. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on episode 4. Are you as excited? Does this make you excited like it did me? It's like I can't believe we're getting a show like this where it's very, very well done. It's so perfect. Like I can't believe how perfect it is. I'm smitten, I guess you could say. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, what you're thinking. And we'll talk about it because Andor is going to be, I think, it's shaping up right now to be some of the best Star Wars that Disney has brought us, like, period. Like, it may be the best, but we'll see. Let me know down below. We'll talk about it. So thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.